In position number 25 finished Roman Grosjean. The race was already starting to look complicated even before the start for the Dale Coyne Racing driver, who had been dealing with problems since the beginning of the day.
Unfortunately, his car stalled on the grid, but the team had they have a really good pit spot. They're actually pit number 4. They already went back to their pit. They didn't know he was stalled. Some other team members came and pushed that car back to their pit spot, but the team's not really even prepared for him. He's just sitting there for some reason with the car dead.
Grosjean came to his pit. He got out of the car, dejectedly slammed the timing stand. They're saying it's a clutch issue. He's still in the pit with his helmet off, and I think they're going to try to get it repaired.
Alex Palou's lasted 11 laps after he and Junkus Hollinger Racing's Rinus VK came together at the finish line. Slow on the lap 10 restart, Palou was being threatened for 4th position from behind by Graham Rahal and VK, and as Palou came through turn 3 and started moving high towards the wall on approach to the start/finish line, he found VK there, looking to pass on an outside lane that disappeared as Palou's number 10 Chip Ganassi Racing Honda crept upwards. Palou appeared to be unaware of VK's presence, and as he drifted high, the left front wheel of VK's number 76 Chevy hit Palou's right rear, which turned Palou and speared him into the wall. With his front suspension folded, the championship leader was done on the spot. VK pitted for repairs to the front of his car and resumed after losing 4 laps.
Alex Palou, a quick comment on what happened from your perspective earlier.
Didn't really have much time to analyze it, but unfortunate. Didn't know that VK was there. Looking a little, it doesn't really seem like he has much room either, but just seems a bit aggressive for being the 10th lap or something, but anyway, it is what it is. It's racing, so focus on next week.
That's Alex Palou.
Rinus VK put this on his Instagram account once the race was over. What a shame. Got run out of room at the exit of T4 on the first restart. Lost 4 laps and it was damage control after that. We had a great car and could have had a great result today. Arlington next. Another driver who was going to have trouble was Louis Foster. He was going to run wide, lose the car, and end up leaning the right side against the wall at Phoenix Raceway. The Rahal Letterman Lanigan racing team was going to try to repair the car when he came into the pits so he could continue in the race, but he was ultimately going to retire with 110 laps remaining. One of the biggest controversies of this race was the battle between Will Power and Christian Rasmussen for first place. This manoeuvre practically decided the race. Will Power was leading, but his pace was considerably slower than Christian Rasmussen's. Rasmussen tried to overtake him in a spot where there was practically no room. There was contact between the two, Power punctured his tyre, and Rasmussen's car ended up clipping the wall. Christian Rasmussen's car suffered some damage, although he managed to continue in the race. Over the radio he was heard saying that the car was fine when the race restarted. However, in the final laps he was seen running wide several times. On the other side, Will Power was furious over the radio. His reaction was immediate because from his point of view, Rasmussen had gone straight for it in a spot where there was no space. It's a shame because Christian Rasmussen had a car capable of winning. It was probably the best car in the race and had been putting on a show from the start. Throughout the race he had attempted very aggressive manoeuvres several times with other drivers, and on those occasions they had worked out well for him. But this time Will Power put a stop to it and the attempt ended in contact. I think Christian Rasmussen ended up losing the race somewhat because of his temper. We heard from both drivers.
There are a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings going on with Christian Rasmussen right now. You just saw the moment of the race and just disappointment across your face. But I'd like you to be the one to describe what you're feeling right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very clear what happened, right? We were the class of the field today. best car out there. You know, I was so happy with the car, and yeah, you can't just run people into the wall, which was what happened today. He ran me straight into the wall, and after that I had damage, and I was just, I think, like lower wishbone front, upper lower wishbone on the rear, and a toe link, which obviously some of that was probably from after, but the car was just impossible to drive after that. And yeah, I just did what I could to salvage a day and not crash the car, but just frustrating, man, so frustrating, because we should have won the race today and obviously didn't. But
that's Phoenix. I'm obviously disappointed with the result. It was an amazing race we had, very good cars. The team did an amazing job. He crashed my car really badly. They rebuilt it, and it was in a really like, we had the best cars out there, so getting through traffic and everything was quite easy and good for us, both me and Kyle. Yeah, and then obviously had an incident with Rasmussen. You know, I feel bad that it ruined his race and mine. I wish I should have just left him more room. Simply, you know, it's me getting used to a new spotter and so on. You know, it would usually be called, he has a wing on you. I can't remember what my spotter said, but it wasn't his fault either. It was just, that was on me, fighting for the win, trying to take his air. Yeah.
Last to first.
It was last to first. We went last to first. It was looking like that. But yeah. Don't want to sound miserable, but it's been a rough couple of races, so the positive is that we're very strong on ovals now.